Appreciate everybody jumping on tonight. Obviously a little bit of a weird college football weekend, so
never disappoints.
Now there's so much money involved now that people just do whatever.
SEC is going to be about half the jobs open.
Yeah, Stoops and Freeze are hanging by threadbare threads. But yeah, if you haven't been paying attention, Brian Kelly just got the axe at LSU. The fake Cajun is out. So that's another weird monkey wrench in this whole coaching search thing coming up. But we're not going to get into that too much tonight. Tonight's about Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech, 8-0 Georgia Tech for the first time since 1966. Aiming to go 9-0 at NC State on Saturday night in the Carter Finley Stadium. And Syracuse was a welcomed kind of not particularly competitive game after the opening fumble. It was it was nice. I'll start tackling some questions in here in the chat. We'll go this one first. How responsible is JOL for the Coldplay switch? I like it. I certainly think y'all's animus towards it certainly played a factor. And yeah, Alex should have worked all the way turned up. I couldn't remember the name of the song on the board when I was talking about what they changed. I referred to it as the rap song from the CPJ era.
So Roscoe Dash all the way turned up.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yep.
Yeah. So Brent's agent is he's represented by Jimmy Sexton's partner, Ed. And they're very busy. But all indications are Georgia Tech will be signing Brent to a long-term extension here shortly. Brent's not looking to go anywhere. We'll see what happens, and it's just gonna be fun to watch it. And for those that don't know, I spent a little bit of time covering LSU recruiting back in the day when I first started JOL to make a little extra money as we were growing the site up, and certainly an interesting time. Don't feel like that's a good fit for old Brent Key. So
it wasn't fit for Brian Kelly.
No, it was a bizarre hire. It was made no sense. I don't know what the hell they're gonna do. It's gonna be fascinating. It's gonna be interesting to just see how this all plays out. You got recruits looking around, you got coaches looking around, you've got assistants trying to get head coaching jobs, you've got NFL guys who are washed up or washed up college coaches or guys that have been fired on the rebound trying to get jobs. I'm waiting to see if Mel Tucker gets a job. Like, I mean, you don't know who's gonna like come out of woodwork. The DJ Durkins, the Mel Tuckers, the guys that left somewhere with a disgrace.
Jimbo.
Yeah, Jim. Yeah, whoever it is. I didn't ask the first question in the Brent Key presser, by the way, Kevin. Asked the second question. And that was done mainly because Brent was surprised that enough that I asked about Fran going into the game. I didn't feel like giving that dude oxygen before the game. I wanted to wait to see how it played out before I brought that up. So I figured that would be his response. And but I can tell you that they were very much aware of what happened last year, how they got the kids got wound up over there for no reason over some really non-offensive comments made by Key and was it Kevin Harris that walked in? Who was it that walked in?
Yeah, I think that sounds right.
He was like all just kind of discombobulated because we asked him to talk at the thing. He wasn't expecting it. It was a whole weird thing. It was Brent trying to be Brent, be cool. Yeah, someone asked Brent about the money down thing. You can hear if you crank it or listen to the audio recording that I put up, you will literally hear me cackle like a teenager as that's said. And Brent, I see Brent's face turn, and I just like put my head in my hands and just started laughing because I was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe somebody said money down."
That still gets some play in the high school ranks. I've noticed on the sideline, good bit.
I mean, it's not like it's poison to Georgia Tech. It's not a terrible concept in and of itself. It's just poison because of who it's associated with. That's I've heard plenty of people kind of bring that up. I just am curious what's going on. Like who do these people think they're going to hire? Like, I don't know.
I don't know about everybody. Everybody wants Lane Kiffin, but I don't think he can coach everyone.
No, I saw somebody say he's going to coach 4 different SEC teams this season.
Yeah,
I don't know if he even leaves that job he's in. He's in a good spot right now for the first
that's
time.
what I don't. He's kind of gotten used to Ole Miss and everything that he can do over there, and built it up pretty good. I mean, they're back in top 7 now, thanks to jumping Georgia Tech in the AP. But yeah, I don't see him. He'll use it to get another raise and keep rolling in Oxford, I believe. But who knows? Crazier things have happened. They might throw the big bucks at him.
I mean, I heard somebody say like 20 million a year, and I was like, if they're doing that, then good luck. Like, I don't know where they're getting that from. I saw a really bad tweet that was SEC Mike. If y'all follow him, he's kind of funny, snarky SEC guy. And he had a tweet about how a bunch of hospitals and charities are going to get ripped off in Louisiana. He feels bad for kids and sick people in that state with this Brian Kelly buyout. But yeah, there's a bunch of, like, James Franklin's going to get a job. Like, Matt Rule's probably going to go to Penn State. There's going to be some weird dominoes and all this. Maybe Brian Kelly goes to Penn State now. I don't know. Like, someone's going to hire him because what he's done is better than what some other people have done, even though he's not a good person. Like, it's just weird.
I saw Straight Jacket's comment. He felt bad, kind of felt bad for him. But I posted
You
that
were
on the
there.
board. Yeah, I posted on the board yet last night. Like you could tell, like just the way he talked last night. He was trying to be positive, and we're gonna keep working and all that stuff. But you could tell he was so down, beaten down, and just I don't know, nothing's going right for him. He's had injuries, and after that big first year, I think he was expecting a whole lot more in year 2, and it's going downhill quickly. I was sitting there trying to type up notes. I think I told Kelly this, but I got to go back and listen to the audio. He brought up something about Power Rangers and Transformers. If I heard it right, I don't know. I missed that whole. It was weird, but I mean, he's a strange guy. I mean, his players apparently love him though. So
he reminds me of a good position coach. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. Some of those guys can transition well if they get the right people and the right thing. Hell, his name's getting bandied about for jobs, even though because there's no one to hire. Dustin asking me, I know the guy you're talking. I've met the guy that you're talking about many years ago. I think he might be dead. Actually, the guy that painted the bulldog on his head. I feel like he died.
I think he did. I saw something about that a year or 2 ago.
I have to text like an old college buddy that would maybe know, but like, yeah, no. I am trying to get Alex to wear his costume to practice this week, though. His Halloween costume.
Hey, let me hold on a second.
Check out Alex's Halloween costume, boys and girls. He's got the oversized Eric Rivers punt return jersey.
6X.
Oh, he did pass. Sorry for your loss, Jeffrey. I didn't know the guy at all. So, his son's dead. That sucks. Like, they didn't seem like bad people. They were very polite to me. So, rest in peace, dog painted head dude. But yeah, I'm trying to get we're trying to get Alex worked up to Chad and I are trying to get Alex worked up to wear that to practice on Wednesday to make Brent crack up.
That might be a presser type of thing.
Well, that's a bummer about the dog painted head dude. Those are like the characters of the college football. Like remember the dudes at Georgia Tech who used to wear like those, was it spandex or like, I don't know what the material, they used to dress up in those like suits that were like all yellow or black or whatever. You know what I'm talking about, Alex? It
No.
was like, it looked kind of like stocking material, but it was like just that with no face. Bodysuits, yes.
I remember the banana thing was pretty popular for a while. Guys just dressing up like bananas. That might have
Hold
been
on, I
across
will try
all
to
of
find
college football.
a picture of this now because it's gonna.
I remember the GTGs.
Where is I gotta? There were these dudes, and there were the guys who wore the overalls. A couple of them were subscribers. I met at least one of them at the weird. He was a really nice guy. I met him at the weird COVID NCAA tournament game that Georgia Tech played in. All right, my weird search for that is not working, so I'll have to think about that later. Yes, Jim Harder got banned from Georgia Tech for starting up firepauljohnson.com after the 2010 season, which was wild. He did some other stuff, I think, to get banned too. Yeah, see, Straight Jacket, remember? You remember like what I'm talking about.
I probably know if I saw it. Speaking of people in the crowd, let's talk about the crowd last night, yesterday. It was
great.
It was impressive. There were some problems with the getting into the gate, I heard, but they eventually filled in every corner of the stadium. There were a few empty seats here and there, but it was loud and it was full, and what we've been hoping for a while now. And winning brings them in. So, and they made an impact. They had some false starts. They made it hard on Syracuse.
Justin, I think you could get Alex to take his shirt off and swing it like the Oklahoma State guys, but I'd take a pass on that one.
My diet's been hurting the last few weeks, so I'll keep clothes on.
If y'all set up a tailgate in Raleigh, I'll come by. Steve's talking about if y'all do something, I'll do something too. I saw Dave is talking about sunburn. I saw a frat boy that was just like obliterated. He was like his face was like this color, like just fried after the game. He was with his parents. I was like, oh man. He was a pale white guy, and he was just his whole face was just burned. I was no facial hair or anything. I was like, oof.
My brother and sister-in-law took their kids to their first Georgia Tech game, last Virginia Tech game, and they sat in the east upper deck, and the sun was right in their face the whole time. And they said it was a little troubling, a little trouble getting the kids to sit in those seats. They went in the concourse for a while, but they're youngsters. But yeah, that east upper deck, looking right in the sun on those afternoon games is tough.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was just cool to see like the full environment, the full stadium for the first time, and when it wasn't like other than like some away fan like Georgia games where they came and filled the stadium up. It was good to see. It was 99% Tech fans. There was a couple little pockets of the Syracuse parents and stuff, but like it was so encouraging. I kind of didn't think I would see that again, to be honest with you, in the depths of the previous era of the program, and kind of how slowly things kind of built back up. But it was great to see. I'm glad people are buying in, and given the traffic issues and people showed up. By the time we got into the second quarter, the whole stadium was just blasted.
I didn't. I got there. I mean, traffic wasn't too bad for us. Got off on Northside Drive and got to the Campus Recreation Center parking deck about two hours beforehand. It wasn't too bad, but all the construction, homecoming stuff kind of threw a wrench into things.
So, I guess this kind of gets into. Well, all right. So here's Steve with an interesting question here. He's asking about bandwagon media. it hasn't really hit a fever pitch yet with it. So Alex is usually, so the way it works, Alex does the away coach and I'll do Brent and the GT players. We've had about the same amount of people all year. There might have been less for like the Gardner Webb game, but we've had the TV stations have covered the team pretty well. There have been like some kind of podunk random people trying to get credentials that they've had to turn down. There's been a little of that, but like on the day-to-day stuff, it's been pretty much the same people, same amount of TV pretty much most of the time. I don't know if Wednesday's been any different for you. That's probably not a huge TV day with players, but
No, that
Terrence Moore is showing up more. I mean, I have seen Terrence, but he was coming to games the last 2 years as well. So I don't
no
know who Terrence writes for.
Wednesday's still been pretty light. I think last Wednesday it was me, Chad, Rod, and I think Najee came too. It's a four-man press conference, but I think Tuesdays with the key is usually when all the TV stations come, mostly fill up the room a little bit. And Thursday.
Kelly's a Heisman voter. I did that just to bust Brent's balls when he was giving his. I don't know any. Brent knows about, I would say 20 Heisman voters personally. That he would have their phone number in his phone, and like has some sort of texting relationship. So it was he was getting a little high on his horse with his pontificating. So I took a little jab at him, like he took one at me earlier.
I'm not a Heisman voter, but I would my top three right now would be Ty Simpson, Diego, and Haynes King. I know I'm a little biased, but those three guys I think are. I mean, Julian's saying it. Ohio State.
I would have Mendoza in there. The Indiana.
Yeah, Mendoza. Yeah, he's around there. But yeah, I mean, Haynes King doesn't he leads the. Does he lead the nation?
The most all-purpose of quarterbacks right now.
Yeah, I mean, they can say whatever they want to about the schedule, but he just produces every week. That's kind of what it's about, being consistent. So,
yeah, the Pavia thing's interesting because of Vanderbilt and who they are and their history. We'll see how long they keep it up. I guess that's one of those things I feel like will get settled as they go along in the season, right? Just like with Tech, if Tech keeps winning, the concern about Brent Key, they're having him on game day like every week now, mic'd up. Like it's pretty clear that the media is getting behind, the hype machine's getting behind Haynes King. So if Tech keeps winning, it'll all handle itself. And you beat Georgia in the Benz, then it really amps it up to another level. So, but it's cool. I think, I'm excited about it. Dave's asking if you should root for UVA to win out. And my answer is yes, because that is the most favorable matchup of the ACC teams left for Georgia Tech. Doesn't mean they'll win. It just means it's on paper. If you're looking at all of it, it's the best matchup. Right? I mean, would you agree with that, Alex? Like that?
Yeah.
If you're talking about Miami or Louisville, or I guess not SMU anymore, but say Miami, Louisville, and Virginia are tied up. Georgia Tech's undefeated.
Yeah, for sure. Talent-wise, Virginia. I mean, Virginia's good. They're a team that's come a long way since the first of the season, since the last season. But Miami offensive defensive line is very good. That's one that I wouldn't want to match up with.
So Virginia's undefeated in the league, Nico. The NC State game doesn't count as a league game. So if they were all undefeated in conference play, then it would be the same. So you would get Tech and Virginia. And yeah, Louisville has the best coach. Miami's got the best talent, and then Virginia's the luckiest, I guess would be the way you'd put it.
I'd say greedy. They just find out ways to win. They've still got to play at Duke in a few weeks. And then Virginia Tech. I mean, Virginia Tech's kind of owned them. I think you talked about that a few weeks ago. I think they've beat Virginia Tech twice in like 20-something years. So you never know.
So we'll see what happens. I'm as Brent Key says every week, you got to take this week to week at this point, man. Like you watch it all across college football, people lose every week. And you think about the game on Saturday, the momentum swings in that. You had Canyon's fumble in the first quarter on the second play of the game, trying to get extra yardage. Then they give up a 41-yard run on the first play from scrimmage. It's 1st and goal at the 1, and they managed to back them up through Syracuse mistakes and some good defensive plays to the 14, I think it was. Like that totally killed the momentum in the game for Syracuse very early, and then Georgia Tech was able to keep going.
And the crowd played a big part in that with the false starts there. I mean, so yeah, that was quite a sequence.
Sorry, the
That
chat's
was a
on
real
fire
question.
tonight. It's pretty funny.
I thought that was a real question. I read through the whole thing like he was.
As far as flips go, there's a lot going on, right? They had Carson Baker at the game on Saturday. They've had lots of other committed guys in. They had a kid on OV that we wrote about on the site last week that's committed at another school. It's getting wild in these streets. And the thing is, Brent's going to try to use his momentum on the field into recruiting momentum. But there are some peaks and valleys to that. And it depends on how much he wants to invest in the portal and all of those things. Are there guys they're changing their investment in that are currently on the team? All those things kind of mess up. Speculation on injuries, I'm not a huge fan of that. I don't know what was up with Matt Alexander. I thought he played in the first quarter because he warmed up and then was out like he was going to start, and then was not dressed when they came. Maybe he wasn't. I noticed him not being dressed in the second half. I don't know if he was not dressed in the first half. I don't know. My guess with him is that he was sick just based on what was going on, or he tweaked something in warmups because he was on an injury report or anything else, but he didn't play in the game.
That's when I was looking at the participation.
Yeah, he wasn't on there or on PFF. That was how I confirmed that. I just assumed I didn't see him because a lot of times you're looking at different things, and I don't have a TV in front of me, so I'm not able to rewatch every play. I have to get up and move if I want to do that. My laptop's not, the internet's not good enough to stream the game in the box that we have. And so I could bring an iPad or something, but it's so slow, it's not worth doing. So, I know, but there's a lot of dudes that are in the mix. Just keep an eye on the site. We'll keep you updated on that. Deuce Gerald's, what's going to happen there? That's an interesting question because it's another domino. You look at, does he stay committed to LSU? It probably depends on who they hire. Lots of stuff going on. It's going to be interesting. Got a dude asking us over and over again about what Key's raise is going to be. That's not my thing to say.
He got another $100,000 bonus last night for getting 8 wins. So I guess he'll have a bigger
Max
Halloween.
Brent.
Yeah.
Tay Harris, that was great to see. Tay. So Clayton Powell at least screwed up on a play, and they actually yanked him out of the game early for a minute and put Tay in, and he finished that drive. And then they mixed him in with Omar and Clayton the rest of the game. So that was good to see him finally get like real playing time. He played 31 snaps, I think, on defense plus special teams.
He was
flying. He had the what did that guy call it?
The peanut punch.
Yeah, peanut punch. On the Syracuse had 2 of the luckiest plays I've ever seen. One of them was on that same play where the ball gets deflected. Another player catches it, and then they punch the fumble out, and it bounces into another Syracuse player's hand. Same thing with the Josh Beetham strip on the fumble on the punt. He knocks the ball loose, and for whatever reason, there was a guy back there, 11, back at their own end zone where normally all the punt return guys would be upfield. There was a guy that happened to be close enough to fall on that punt. That normally wouldn't happen, and Tech would have like 4 players around the ball, and it just bounced the one guy that was there for Syracuse. I think they are developing guys. It's just it's going to take time.
Reading through all this.
This is great. Kelly, I will pay you extra $100 if you ask Brent after we beat UGA a question about how you beaten another nameless, faceless opponent. What's next? Pretty sure that we will get a slightly different reaction if that happens. Can you get Brent to do the clapping, the timeout clapping? Clapping, clap.
I was in the company of Kirby Smart on Friday. I should have asked him about the timeout at the Kell game.
I have a picture of Alex and Kirby Smart hanging out. Alex looks like so annoyed that Kirby Smart's at this football game, and he's like walking behind him while his buddy took a picture.
Not me, not me.
Yeah, I hope this ends up a storybook ending for King. Jordan Allen had a great game. Tay Harris had a great game. Montre Bradford continues to be disruptive. The freshmen are starting to come on. It'll be interesting with Zachary Toby banged up. If we see Elgin Sessions finally get some real playing time. They leaned on Daquan White and John Mitchell in this last one. Mitchell had a little bit of a rough thing. Garrett's been banged up, so that's why I haven't seen him. They're going to play Sessions before they play Penson. Penson's still behind him, but he was in the 3 deep for the game. Penson was in the 3 deep for the game. They didn't get that far into the rotation. When are the stadium seat renovations? This is 26. I think next spring they start that.
I believe.
And I think it's for the 27 season is when I don't know. I don't remember. Is Ricky Collins the worst P4 quarterback you've ever seen? Come on, boys. We have seen worse dudes than that play at Georgia Tech in the Jeff Collins era and perhaps in the Brent Key era. So, no, Ricky Collins is not the worst quarterback I've seen by a long stretch. He was all right. And I think some of y'all don't remember some of the dudes that got trotted out by old GC3.
My Bama buddies would say that Spencer Pennington might be the worst quarterback that's ever come along in Division I.
Tech's had some rough spots here. I mean, hell, they started Calvin Booker in a game with Paul at quarterback against, was it the Gardner Webb?
Yeah, almost lost. I think they blocked a field goal to preserve a 3-point lead.
Yeah, I think Tech's in the glass houses category when calling out bad quarterback play a little bit. Somebody said, Jack saying, all right, Jack would know this. Renovations begin after the 26th season. That makes more sense because I'd heard it would be done for 27. So there you go. All right, Alex, let's get some questions from the site.
That's what I was looking at. There was a question about injuries. We kind of talked about that. I mean, we'll know more early in the week. The guys got.
Yeah, it looked like whatever was going on with Alexander might have just been illness or something. He seemed fine. He was on the sideline.
And I don't think Toby. He came off and he was still on the sideline. I don't know if they took him in, but I don't know if he played again. But he was still moving around on the sideline and stuff. And
yeah, he just couldn't put weight on it after it happened. Maybe he just sprained his ankle or something. I don't want to jump into doing that.
Yeah. First, here's another question. Who was Coach Key yelling at to get off the field with 3:47 to go in the game? I don't know. One time it came out of a timeout, and they like a media timeout, and they had to use a timeout because something got screwed up, and
he threw his headset.
He destroyed a headset. I don't know who. I don't know exactly who, what coach or player or whatever, but I thought it was earlier in the game because it was kind of like when he was he got right in the middle of the huddle during that timeout. It's like, let's get things right, guys. Like he had enough of the beating themselves kind of thing, and they kind of turned it around from there. And I think it was around the second quarter. But yeah, he was hot about something coming out of that timeout, and they had to use another timeout. So, but they listened. So.
Tentative construction on the stadium would begin November 2026. I think they've moved that timeline back. Tripp's saying that's why they moved the game to the Benz. I don't know. I think that might have been an excuse. At one point, the timeline was to start after this year, then they moved it back a year. There's a story in like this. You can Google it. It's in like the Sports Business Journal from the summer where they talk about the timeline. I just looked it up while we are chatting. The story is from July, talking about how they start construction in 2026 and will run all the way up to the start of the 27th season, and it should be done. Everybody does hate on Zachary Toby. I thought he played probably his best game on Saturday before he got hurt. He was playing pretty well. He just didn't get his head around a couple of times, and that got everybody's ire.
He made a great play, I think it was in the first quarter, on a ball that one-on-one, and he played it perfectly, turned around, broke it up.
Yeah, Rodney Shelley had a nice one too. They got to get their heads around. That's, I think, a confidence thing. It's not a coaching thing. It's them being scared and not wanting to give up a big play. There's a reason why he's playing. Like, guys, like, this is a thing. You watch practice, you watch these guys every day, and like, there's a reason why they pick who they pick. There's no favoritism or any of that stuff going on. Brent wouldn't stand for that. And you are up at your physical limitations as well. They're sometimes making trade-offs for experience, a guy just doing the right thing versus whatever. We'll see.
I agree with Ryan. I think I talked about this last year sometime, but DB in any level is it's almost impossible. Like you're on an island out there. You're one tug or pull or push or fall away from pass interference call, and they throw them way too much. And yeah, it's a very, very difficult position. It takes a special kind of guy to play it. Let's see. There's what's the biggest thing to worry about when it comes to NC State? I think their offense is good. They can score points. Their defense hadn't been very good, but their quarterback's very hot.
I mean, this has the potential to be a shootout, I think, a little bit if they get rolling.
Bailey looks very good sometimes, and sometimes he makes ridiculous throws that shouldn't be made. So, yeah, it's going to depend on which one you get.
Eric's asking about the section under the score. This is a classic story that I have to tell all the time. The section under the stadium that's on the far side, on the west, in the west corner, southwest corner of the end zone, is student seating. But none of those students sit there because they all cram into the north end zone in the area by the band. So if you ever look at that, they're like people on top of people. Like, they're not spaced out like the rest of the stadium is correctly, because everyone just crams into the other side because no one wants to sit down there. So the only ones who sit down there are the people who just couldn't find like any space to squeeze into or don't like that. So that's how you end up with that kind of funky spot in the corner.
I would say somebody asked about that. I think on the board too. What solutions? I think eventually, if the recruiting lists start getting, keep getting bigger, they might end up start putting a few recruits on that end, because it's kind of a good vantage point to see the other end, the student section and the environment and everything. So I don't know. That could be one area they could put some recruits in there, but it is tough. It's a tough part of the stadium to get to. So.
Yes, that's the other complaint about it too. They should turn it into sitting in quiet zone for people who don't want to stand up during the game. They talked about the beer garden. We've talked about that. They experimented with the spring game, and Jeff, I think, was a coach doing that down there. I just don't think there's enough space to really pull it off safely. It's sort of just that was the original idea I've talked about probably a year before, was Paul Johnson's idea in 2016 or whatever, was to make that the weight room, to blow out where the weight room is now, blow out that whole part of the stadium, have it be like a glass thing that overlooks the field. And that obviously never happened, and now they're getting that Fanning building will have the new weight room in it. So it all got handled eventually. And by the way, NC State should have a good crowd. They draw like pretty well. They, even when they suck, draw like pretty well. They have that's been their history. Fans support the program there. And it's sort of they're at an inflection point with Dave Doran. Someone posted this amazing video I'd never seen today on the board of the intro to the 2002 Georgia Tech game at NC State. That was like a Sopranos knockoff with Chuck Amato. And it's the most funny thing I've ever seen. It is wild. You guys can check it out on the board. It's on. Trying to think of what thread that was in, but it reminds me that they used to actually like produce stuff. Maybe the NC State thread.
Chuck
But
Amato.
they were 9-0 in that game or something. And Georgia Tech came in and upset them. Someone was saying they're going to want revenge. I was like, none of these people were alive when that happened that are playing in this game, so I don't think they care.
Chuck Amato had a great voice. Him and Bruce Weber, Illinois basketball coach, they were two of the best.
There you go. You had 9-0 North Carolina State that lost 24-17 to Georgia Tech in Carter Finley.
They have a very loyal fan base. They do. At football, basketball, they show up. I mean, they get beat down by the Carolinas and Dukes in basketball a lot, and they still show up. So,
we're laughing about the Dave Doran.
He does stick around, I'll say that.
Justin's still pushing the Creed. I like Creed. I went to see Creed. I had I've seen Creed and Nickelback in my time, and had two very intense experiences there with some ladies. So I have a soft spot in my heart for Creed and Nickelback and all that stuff from back in the day.
Here's a good question. Will Alex get to go to Charlotte with Kelly?
Oh, Charlotte? Yeah, probably. I would think so.
I'll be there. Hey, if I can be there, I'll be there.
No, yeah, like that's not hard. Charlotte's not hard. It's hard to do other stuff. And now we're in their point two where like we're gonna have to divide and conquer on some stuff. Like Alex will have to do some basketball, or I'll do basketball, and there'll be a little bit of trading off of duties.
I'll be making a trip to Athens on a Friday in a couple of weeks to see the
favorite people.
Clean old-fashioned hate basketball version.
I'll be in Maine after the BC game.
Let's see. There's a question about Matthew Alexander. I think we talked about that. We talked about who we would want to face in the AC championship game.
Yeah, Virginia's the better draw, even though they're the luckier team this season.
It's a good question. Now, outside of two coordinators, what members of key staff would be the most sought after by other programs? I think Jeep Wade would be pretty sought after.
Jeep Wade's been sought after, so it's Jeep Wade.
There's a lot of good guys on that staff. Jess Simpson's been around. He's coached at the highest level. He's coached at some big programs. They got a really good staff. That's what Key has done in the last couple of years. He's assembled a really good staff that has a lot of experience, and a lot of teams would want those guys.
Jeep's very happy at Georgia Tech, by the way, too. He's turned down some other jobs and more money. Let's take a minute here. We're going to talk about Alex's other love. Section 103, where you get Georgia Tech gear. Great stuff. Apparently, I guess I didn't realize my camera angle was so bad. So Section 103, get all your Tech gear, get the best in Georgia Tech gear. Great people, Tech fans, always coming up with innovative designs and doing fun stuff. You get the Brent Key hoodie there and all that fun stuff. Great people, Section 103, check it out. Alex is a big supporter. He's only using like half his paycheck on Section 103 these days. So
I wore my new Georgia Tech Section 103 polo to church today. It's good to wear some Georgia Tech stuff to church, and You hadn't done that a whole lot in the last few years, so it's good to have that those options.
Yeah, I was in Hartsfield, Jackson. My father-in-law had his 80th birthday this weekend, and luckily we had it worked out well for me, the noon kickoff. But so I was in the airport twice, Friday and Sunday, and saw a lot of Georgia Tech stuff in the airport. At a time where you don't normally see a lot of fans, because obviously it was a home game, and then on Sunday just randomly seeing Tech people, so that was cool. And I saw a couple. We were in a steakhouse on Saturday night in Buckhead and saw a lot of Georgia Tech people rocking the GT polos and stuff, so that was cool. I still don't remember who asked about money down. Y'all have asked me this a bunch of times. It was not one of the regulars. It was somebody on the side. So there's like two rows of chairs, and so like on one side it was me, and Seth Emerson was behind me, and the two Garrett and Rod were in the front, and then on the other side was like Chad and two other people I don't recognize, and Jack was there, and I'm not sure. Jack might remember. He's in the chat. He might have seen who did that. But I can't remember who asked about the money down. Other than I knew that's like a trigger word for Brent, so that was gonna go well. Was it Najee who asked him? Oh no, it's Najee. He started to not say it, and then he said it. He like questioned himself. I remember that, and like like money down. I was like, oh no, that's Najee. I'll have to tell him about that when next time I see him, like what that was all about. He's a good dude. Yeah, Jack said he nearly lost it. Yeah, I mean, you heard me lose it. Like I cracked up like inappropriately loud laugh because I was so caught off guard by that.
I like Najee. Najee was at the Kell game on Friday, and then he had the late night and then early morning like I did yesterday, and he might have been operating on limited sleep too. So you never know what kind of questions you get from him.
Eric saying Josh Pate said Haynes King squarely in the Heisman discussion. I'd say absolutely. I think that's just how it is.
Josh Bates been consistently. I mean, he was on Georgia Tech before the season this year, so
yeah, he got into it early.
Yeah, he's been consistent with Georgia Tech support.
Do you think the beef with Fran Brown's over? That's another question in the chat.
I think he wants it to be over for sure. I don't think they don't play him.
I don't think either one of them are interested in going on with that.
Yeah, I think Fran's got other things to worry about. He's got to worry about trying to get to a bowl this year.
So they're not on the schedule next year, and then we have no idea what 2027 looks like because they're going to totally redo the schedule. I think again they're going to blow it all up because they're going to 9 games.
That's right. Here's a question about the Pitt game again, possibly being a game day destination. They lay out the other possibilities: USC at Oregon, Mizzou at Oklahoma, TCU at Houston. I mean, if Pitt goes on a run and beats Notre Dame, absolutely, it's an option. But Pitt's
because they're probably not going to go to a Big Ten game, more than likely, because that'd be the Fox noon game, whatever, USC at Oregon. So they'll play that at 9 a.m. local time. No, I guess they can't make that the noon. They may have rules over that.
I don't remember what podcast. It might have been, I don't know, one of the Pick'em things that I listened to, but they said that like the TV stations have like a draft before the season of games. Like Big Ten does Fox, NBC, and CBS now, and like the TV stations have a draft of games before the season of like ones that they want. So yeah, like I didn't know all that, but obviously Michigan and Ohio State's usually the number one pick for that crew.
That's always a Fox noon game, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the one they always pick. But yeah,
the 9 game schedule's in 27. Next year they were too locked in to do anything. So the 27 is when they'll start 9 games. So next year will be the schedule as it is. The trip to Stanford and Clemson and whoever else they're playing. As Clemson at Clemson. I mean, obviously we don't have dates yet on most of these, but the Colorado game, Tennessee should be in Mercedes-Benz, Mercer. Then Clemson, BC at home, Duke at home, Louisville at home, Wake. Like I said, at Clemson, at Pitt, at Stanford, at VT. And then obviously at Georgia to end the season. We'll see if that ends up at Friday night too.
They don't.
And
College
SMU's in 27. That's not next year. And I don't know if that's going to happen.
College game day won't be at Georgia Tech this year because the game's on Friday. So
chat's bumping tonight, dude. You guys are killing it.
I can't make any jokes about hairlines.
No, I mean,
that's why I wear a hat 99% of the time.
You know, Alex, Brent, and I cannot make hair jokes on anybody.
Tight ends, tight ends got in the action yesterday. Josh Beetham had a
pair of touchdown catches, forced fumble, and 2 drop touchdown catches, unfortunately for him, that are haunting him. Apparently he was out working on it already with Haynes on Sunday. He was not happy with himself about his drops. Little birdie told me that.
Here's a question about Jordan Allen. It says Jordan Allen looks electric moving forward. I think he puts up the best stats of our wide receivers the rest of the season. Is that overreaction? I would think so. Because when
who puts up the best
Jordan Allen.
I mean, I love Jordan Allen, but I think he's still going to have kind of a limited role.
Yes, especially when Malik comes back.
I still think if he gets his shirt burned, they're going to continue to work him into it. I think that's the plan now. He's too explosive, but think about it. He had 7 touches, I think it was, and 19 snaps. They were getting the ball to him. That's because he's really dynamic. Bailey's really dynamic. The 2 of them were, I think, 6 for 100 something.
Let's see, I got it.
I think Bailey had 48 and Jordan had 60 something.
Jordan had 6 for 67, and Stockton had 4 for 48. Yeah, I mean, Eric Rivers had a pretty good game yesterday. He had 5 catches, 43 yards, kind of went under the radar. I mean, King's spreading it around. That's the biggest thing. He had 1, 2, 3. He had 9 different receivers yesterday.
And there were multiple that had 2+ catches, too.
Yeah.
And even Zion Taylor had a huge play in the game where he spun out of a tackle and got a first down, on a catch and a key play. Nancy's asking about Akilo and Malik. I don't know what Malik's status is. Akilo, I think, would be Boston College, is my educated guess on when we see him again. Though maybe it gets sped up if something's wrong with Matt. I don't know. Again, that's something we'll start to find out more about this week. And one of the things people talk about is some of the injuries, unless they're super defined, if it's someone's sprained ankle or whatever, you won't really necessarily have a firm idea until Tuesday or Wednesday, even sometimes, if they're going to be able to go, because things can heal or not heal. So we'll see what happens. Will we see Savion Riley again? I hope so. We thought he was playing last week because Brent didn't mention him. He forgot him. And then I asked him a question. He didn't answer. I gave him a chance to say something. I asked him about having Savion and Chad back, Alexander, and he talked about Chad. And I was hoping that he would either say that he's out or back, and he didn't either. So that confused everybody until we got our thing Thursday night with the thing.
I think Savion will play another game this year, another game or 2.
I'm not worried. You worry about the polls, and if they go undefeated, the polls will handle themselves. You don't need to worry about that right now. And the important one is the one that comes up. Is in 2 weeks or next week. When do they do the first playoff?
I think it's the week of the Georgia Tech bye is the first playoff rankings.
So that's when you start to pay more attention to stuff. The polls don't matter anymore.
That's what I was gonna say. The polls I wouldn't worry about. The people in the room that's doing those playoff rankings. So if Georgia Tech gets a bad first ranking there with the people equation of the playoff rankings, that's when I would worry a little bit. But if you win your games, you're going to be fine.
Yeah, that's how you control your own destiny. It's like the people complaining about the bowl game last year. Like, if they had handled their business against Syracuse and teams like that, then that doesn't turn into a situation where it matters.
I had one of my Vanderbilt buddies text me yesterday. He's like, "Hey, look at the Birmingham Bowl teams, where kind of a starting point for two huge seasons, a combined 15-1, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Those two.
By the way, the selection committee has some like P5-ish guys on it, like Mike Riley and Chris Alt are on there. So there's people that Brent knows, like Ivan Mazel, on there too. So, you know, it's interesting. Randall McDaniel actually pulled out of it. He was supposed to be in there, former star Minnesota Vikings. Steve keeps pushing the Eric Singleton question, or someone else asked her. Dude, I don't know, man. We'll see what happens. Like, I am not worried about Eric Singleton or the portal or any of that right now. I don't think you should be either. Georgia Tech will be very attractive in the portal for receivers if they're looking for some.
And with the amount of coaches that are apparently going to be fired, there's going to be a whole lot. I mean, the portal's going to be crazy again, just like last year. So you never know.
I don't think Dave Doran's worried about what I said about him. He's been called far worse by people up there than anything I said. I said he was like a cockroach. He's hard to kill. He constantly pulls out magic.
Shoot,
mostly against I think it was Clemson.
That's a compliment, being a cockroach.
Man, you gotta be survivor, man. I'm a survivor, dude. Like, I get it. Like, I'm not gonna sing the Beyonce song, but
there's a question about Haynes King making it to New York City for the Heisman Trophy. If we keep winning and he keeps being Haynes, does he have a legit shot to win it? Absolutely. We talked about that. He's going to have his Heisman moment if he beats Georgia in the.
If they keep winning and he stays healthy, it's 80% chance he's in New York right now.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yep. Absolutely. Toughest ACC game left in the regular season: at NC State in primetime or Pitt at home.
William doesn't like my hockey beard, apparently. Not shave until they lose. I'm all in.
Let's see here. Toughest ACC game left in the regular season: at NC State or primetime or Pitt at home.
I think NC State this week is the hardest game. It's the next one up.
Yeah.
I think that could be harder than the Pitt game in some ways. Pitt's playing well, though.
Let's see.
Oh, I appreciate you, William. Yeah, I might be a hair superstitious about stuff. Trying to bring good mojo to Georgia Tech. Pitt could be the most shootout-ish game, but again, like Pitt and NC State, defensively are no juggernauts. But on the road at night is what concerns me more than. But I'm concerned about all these, man. Boston College has every making of a trap game. They're going to be, basically playing like a team that doesn't, have anything to go. Sorry, I said that all weird. They have like nothing to lose. So, and most of these teams you're playing don't. Pitt will, but like NC State, I mean, they're sort of trying to be bowl eligible. Like, but I don't know. How many trips have I made to Raleigh? I've covered that game quite a few times. I mean, I love the area, but the stadium's just like in the middle of nowhere, like on off an exit on the interstate. I mean, it's not in the middle of nowhere. It's just like randomly. It would be like if like the Falcon Stadium was like, on a random exit on like 285. It's just kind of crazy. I've been a couple times. Yeah, I am. Yes, I am a firm believer. I've seen many magical things happen, so superstition's not anything that I scoff at. But yeah, Carter Finley is a tough place. It's one of the better stadium vibes. And yeah, in Boston, you don't know. So that weekend's my mom and her twin brother's 80th birthday. So we're going up to celebrate all that. I'm going up a couple days early and then going to the game. And my mom was telling me they've had blizzards on their birthday up there. So
Snow game. Never know.
you never know, or it could be 60. I've been up there that time of year before when it was that. So like, you just play the hand you're dealt each week, man. I am just excited to be covering something that actually matters, man. Like, it's nice. Like, I'm excited.
Here's a
Yeah,
question.
y'all might need to come up to Boston to fill the stadium up.
Here's a question from the board. Said they took his wife and $2 to the GT game for the first game yesterday, and they ate at the varsity. What's your go-to order for the varsity? I don't think Kelly eats there very often.
No, I'll have to pull up the menu. I have an order though. I have not been to the varsity since before COVID was the last time to put a timetable on. I took my brother-in-law and his wife and kids from the airport to the varsity because they were hungry and I thought it would be fun. I get the chili, usually a chili cheese dog and a chili cheeseburger combo. And
That
then I might do fries and rings, like get some fries and rings.
I don't know what number that is on the board, but that's the one I get is the chili cheese dog, chili cheeseburger, fries combo. That's what I get. I
I
used to
like the
just
onion rings too, though. But so if I'm gonna go, I'm gonna like actually have that too.
I'm not an onion rings guy. Their fries
Holy
aren't.
crap! This dude's saying he got a combo and it was $24.
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
Sorry, hang on. I pulled up the wrong comment. Yeah, so that would probably be the other time. I'd be angry if I walked into varsity and paid $24 for like one meal. Like,
It's not. Yeah, nothing's cheap. I went through.
combo number 2. Okay.
I think I posted on one of the live Q&As. I went through a Taco Bell on the way home from one of those high school games a few weeks ago, and it was $20-something. Yeah, it's crazy prices right now. I like the varsity. It's not something you eat a ton. I don't like it as much as my brothers like it. That was our back in the day. We'd eat every Georgia Tech game or every Braves game or anything we went to Atlanta. We ate at the varsity, and I wasn't always the one that drove that bargain.
Oh, my buddy Robert just texted me. He said it was the Goldfellas. That was the thing that I was talking about with the. There was a version of that where they had these like suits that were like faceless suits that they wore for games back in the like mid 2000s. Because that's something I just like remember. I think it was even like in the college football video game. But they're ones with the yellow. They're usually like yellow and black in the end zone.
One of the comments on the board said that Luke Harpring looked like one of the guys that was getting yelled at when Key lost it yesterday. I don't know. He might have been yelling in his direction, but you never know. I don't know. Like he was mad at somebody on the sideline that I don't know if it was a coach or player, but
Someone asked about the 2027 schedule, which is hard to worry about at this moment. But yeah. So that's so. So 2027 is at Tennessee, at Notre Dame in October, and Georgia, and then Florida State and at Miami, both on the at Florida State, at Miami, at SMU. I would put money on that changing. So I wouldn't. That's something you worry about. Maybe next summer when they announce the new scheduling model. I would guess next July they'll announce whatever the scheduling model is for 2027 for football and beyond. So I'd worry about it then, because that Notre Dame game could easily change or get dumped or moved to someone else, depending on what's going on.
There's two questions in a row here about Malachi Hosley and Jamal Haynes, asking if Hosley's taking over the lead back role. I don't think he has, and I don't think it's something that matters. Like, why? They're
They
both
play them interchangeably. Like,
yeah, they're both very good running backs. Hosley has some big runs so far. Jamal hadn't broken a long run in a while. He might do it soon, but like they're both very good running backs. You don't have to have a 1 and 2, like a workhorse like the old days. That was the point of getting this depth, is to make sure Jamal didn't get beat up like he did last year, because he was hurting toward the end of the season. So yeah, it's great that Hosley's producing like that. But
they played all of the available running backs except for Alexander on Saturday got a snap, because they at the very end of the game managed to get Shane Marshall, J.P. Powell, and Dalen Gordon all in the game, and Trelane Maddox had played throughout the game as well. Trelane can play. Like, they're in a good spot running back, I think, going forward, and they're just going to try to go get some talented dudes. Obviously, we talked about Carson Baker being there. They love Shane Marshall. They're very big on Shane Marshall. So we'll see what happens, going ahead. And, and the other thing, too, with look at what's going on right now. Like, you don't know that Marcus Freeman will be at Notre Dame, or what Florida State will look like, or the odds are more than half decent that Mario's not at Miami by 2027, just given their history. Like, we just don't know. Like, so it's a little bit of a fool's errand to get worked up about worrying about that, to get back to that point. Why do second one in the twin cost? Some guy got chatty with me about that on Twitter, and I was like, I don't usually respond to people. I respond to him because it's so stupid. I put up the stat because it's statistically improbable to lose 8 coin tosses in a row at the beginning of a game. Like, just the way it works. And the winning 1 of 9, which they've done this season because the overtime, is like 1.7% chance or something. 1.76, I think is what Mike Flynn, the SID, said. Yeah, you don't know what's going on at Texas with Sark. There's just tons of stuff that's weird going on in the coaching world. Yeah, you'd rather have luck on, as John Kelly says, you'd rather have your luck in the game and not on the coin toss. You should be able to play around it either way. NCAA coach, try the NFL. Sark and Marcus Freeman are the two guys I'm kind of watching. I think Marcus, it's going to have to be the right opportunity for him. I was talking to a buddy about this the other day, this Notre Dame guy. And Sark, I think, is legit interested, so we'll see.
Reading through.
JOL's doing well. Our transition's going well. Still getting some kinks ironed out with some people's payment methods and stuff. And there's been a few funky things, but we're about to probably do another subscriber drive. So please sign up for JOL, subscribe, support our work. It really helps us out much more than this. We just kind of do this as a fun aside for you guys.
I would take Marcus Freeman to the Falcons for sure.
Yeah, we all would. It would seem like an upgrade over what's going on there right now.
Yep.
Isaiah's the guy who hasn't watched much NFL this year.
I didn't watch much today. I'm glad I didn't. Here's a question about how legit was the sellout. It looked pretty full on TV. Yeah, it was pretty full. There were a few pockets here and there in the upper decks that were empty, but it was full. It was as full as it's been.
I mean, as full as that place has been in eons of Georgia Tech fans since the FSU game in 2015, which was kind of funny to see them honor that team, the Miracle on Techwood team, given that it was a 3-9 season. but just how amazing that game was.
There's a couple of questions about Traylon Maddox.
Trey.
Not getting as much. Like he's still going to work back in. Like we said, Hosley got his chance and took advantage of it when Maddox was out, and you can't just like come back and take that spot back over, especially when Hosley's been as productive as he's been. So he'll have to earn his way back on there. I mean, he's getting chances. He's played several. I mean, he's had carries in both the last 3 games, I guess. Or did he have a carry against Duke? I can't remember. I don't think.
He got in, I think. I'm not sure if he got a carry.
But yeah.
I feel like he got in.
Oh,
we got Tuesday night. You're going to go down to Fifth Third Bank on Tuesday night, Alex, to watch Kennesaw State become bowl eligible?
Oh, boy.
I
Tuesday,
have to
Wednesday.
boycott that because they fired my boy Bohannon.
Yeah.
I'd like to go over there, but I have friends
that
work there.
I wasn't aware that Georgia State and South Alabama was playing on Wednesday until Kelly and Chad started texting about it, and so I turned it on. That was quite a crowd over there at the old Turner Field. It was plenty of seats available.
Jordan Allen, fastest. Yeah, Jordan Allen, Dalen Penson, Tay Harris are the 3 fastest players, I think, on the team right now.
They're all track guys.
Yep. Penson stayed back to be on track. Him and Tay Harris have had a fun kind of back and forth over who's the fastest.
Let's see here. Here's one. Which of the young DL, other than Amontre Bradford, do you think will be a difference maker next year? It says we have to find some stud pass rushers. I think Christian Garrett's going to be pretty dang good.
I think Dre Fuller is going to be good too.
Yeah.
I like Dre.
I need to ask.
Getting better.
I need to ask Dre, and I think you posted a picture of it today of his white face paint, and I think Peyton Joseph.
I posted a picture of it. I'll
yeah,
show it here.
Yeah, that's what.
It was something else. I didn't see this at the game. Blake, our photographer, took a picture of him, and then I tweeted it out because it was like, holy smokes, that's intense.
And Peyton Joseph does it too. I just don't understand how you don't sweat that stuff into your eyes. I don't know. That would be what I would.
Like he looks like a Halloween murderer guy. Like that's scary, man. He's like such a nice kid. So it's very funny to see him painted the same way. Like they're really nice guys. It's funny to see them like painted up, man. They're just into it. Dre's
awesome. I went and watched him on his senior night last year, and he's the most humble, well-spoken, good kid there is. He looks like this is going to show my professional wrestling back in the day, but he looks like the guy that they brought in to be like the Undertaker's rival one time. God, what was that guy's name? It's like a guy that didn't know how to like pin guys, and maybe somebody in the chat that's more of a wrestling guy.
That's Dre Fuller, by the way, the picture. Andre Fuller, the freshman defensive end.
With the white face paint. I don't know. But yeah.
Let's see if AI picks up on your thing.
Who was that guy?
Kane, his half brother?
No, Kane's the red face.
That's what AI came up with, so of course they would be wrong. I don't know. I enjoyed the wrestling game until I enjoyed the wrestling video game that came out like when I was a kid. I watched a little bit of wrestling when I was a kid.
I was into it. Yeah, Papa Shang. There's a guy named Kamala too that I just looked up. That.
Yeah, Kamala. Sting. I remember Sting.
Yeah, Kamala, professional.
There was a good video game. I don't remember if it was like on the Nintendo or like SNES or like Sega Genesis or whatever. There was a good game.
I had many birthday parties at the Putt Putt in West Rome, and one of the biggest things that the kids were always playing in the arcade was I think it was WWE Royal Rumble or something like that. That was the big thing. What was I looking at?
All right, we've gone off the rails. There was some retro wrestling game that I was into.
I was all over the professional wrestling until when WWF bought WCW. That's when it went a little bit crazy, and I got out of it. But
it's real to Alex.
I went and saw Buff Bagwell at like a show in Calhoun a few years ago. He had some medical issues recently, I believe.
Come for the Georgia Tech information. Get really ancient pro wrestling stuff.
Oh, man.
Of course, David, your cousin, was a professional wrestler. That doesn't surprise me at all. Oh man, are we at the bottom of the pile?
Yeah, that was. There's some more questions about the empty southwest corner of the stadium and the football guys. Who do we piss off to lose every coin toss? So there's a few repeats. But
the bowl reps this week were the Gator Bowl and the Pop-Tarts Bowl, by the way, for those who want to know that stuff. Pop-Tarts Bowl has been at like every Georgia Tech game this season.
That's what I was gonna say. They've been
your non-playoff bowl game pride destination.
That would take quite a fall in the next few weeks, but one at a time. Let's see.
Ken's asking me my thoughts on Ryan Alpert. Really like Ryan. He's been great to deal with. I think he gets it. A lot more personable and J-Bat was much more kind of business-like. Ryan knows how to play the game a little bit better. Very ambitious about what he wants to get accomplished, which is encouraging in terms of building out the relationships, doing the things that need to be done. He knows that to take care of Brent, and they have a good relationship. I think they have a better relationship than he had with J-Bat. So that's exciting. And Ryan's around and approachable, which is big. Been really impressed with him.
Yeah, I know. I was a big Papa Pump guy. His son played basketball at Etowah in last year. I think he was at Virginia Tech last year. I don't know where he went in the portal. I don't remember where he ended up, but I talked to Big Papa Pump at a Rome Etowah basketball game a couple years ago.
Cool. Is that guard from like North Georgia?
Yeah, Rex Steiner is his last name.
Yeah, he was at VT, right? And then
he went in the portal. He ended up somewhere West Coast, I think. No, I know Mankind. It was Kamala. That was the one I was looking for. I looked it up.
That's so funny. Is Damon on a short leash? Yeah, he has like no buyout basically, and you have a AD that likes basketball. That's not the best combo in the world.
We're about a week away from tipping it off. So with basketball.
Oh, William wants to buy you lunch. You need to go to Robert's restaurant. He has that cool restaurant up that way. Should check out some point too. Appreciate everyone for joining us. I don't know. It's gonna be fun. We'll get around to more of this soon. I think we're gonna call it a night because we do have we have basketball available tomorrow morning with Damon Stoudemire. So need to get jumping off. Yes, in Lafayette. Robert's got an awesome setup that I haven't been to yet either. I want to check out. Have you been to Sam's Burger in Rome?
I have. Very good. Very good. They've got the big plane restaurant out in Armurchie. It's a pretty cool little setup. It's like they cut half of a plane and like made it into the restaurant. It's a cool little deal.
That does sound cool. Unfortunately, I'm not really up that neck of the woods that often.
Rome's a long way from I-75 though, so.
Oh, they just put out the press release a little while ago on Brian Kelly. He gone.
Yep.
All right, folks, we appreciate you. Much love. Hopefully, we're talking about the 9-0 Jackets next week. Otherwise, Alex may be too distraught to do the video. But
That's right.
It seems to be good times on the flats. We'll see if basketball ever gets it going, and then obviously the baseball team has a chance to be good too. It's fun times, boys and gals. Appreciate you. Good
I'm
night.
always up for lunch. All right, we'll see you guys.